Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, beautiful people. Welcome back to another day of YouTube. You here? We're back here with another anime reaction. This time, this been requested a few times. Who is Gilgamesh? His lore. This is from Fate Stay Night lore, or not the Grand Order. It's from Fate Stay Night lore. I'm here again on my boy Shane.
His follower.
All right, the cult. Yeah, so we'll be doing this reaction. We'll be doing part 2 reaction of the Hercules, how strong Hercules is tomorrow, and then a few other people requested a few things, so we'll be getting those in as well as fast as we could. We'll be dropping 2 videos today. We'll be dropping this one within an hour of it making it, and then we'll drop another Naruto one because that's all my boy knows. So let's
No, I know some other ones.
You guys should watch the Naruto one. We get really deep involved in that one.
Yeah, that's what
All right.
no discussion.
I don't own this video. This video is owned by, I forgot who it was. I didn't look at it before, but whoever it is, the information will be down in the description below. This video there will be a link in the description below as well. I don't own no rights to this, so copywriters, get off my back. You know what I'm saying? Like and subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Do not hate. That's all I appreciate, alright? Everything I drop is going to be something cool and amazing, you know what I'm saying? Let's go.
You, but for someone who's titled the King of Heroes, and I don't know about you, but for someone who's titled the King of Heroes and is widely believed to be the strongest heroic spirit in the Fate universe, I sure don't know a whole lot about him. Like...
Hold up. Okay, there. There we go.
Believed to be the strongest heroic spirit in the Fate universe.
You right? Oh, no, you only one that did him, huh? No, you did Hercules. This dude was strong.
I sure don't know a whole lot about him. Like, we all know the character Gilgamesh, but unlike Saber or Ryder, who are based off of more widely popular historical figures, I knew nothing of this so-called oldest king while watching any of the Fate series.
And what I just realized about Gilgamesh is that in his lifetime, what I've noticed so far, he didn't do nothing spectacular like King Arthur and them. You know, I think he's only OP because he has all the riches in the world. Like, literally, that's all he does. He has all the riches, and all he does is shoot. Like every, you don't know nothing, but they call them Nova Phantasms, which is their ultimate move. All right, and everybody that's related to them have, like, for Hercules, his Noble Phantasm ultimate move is he has like 9 lives. You know, like how he did the nine things when he was alive, like defeated. Like 9, I forgot what it's called. Chapters in life, like
the servant or not the.
No, Hercules, actual Hercules. When he did the, you know how he defeated the Hydra monster. Then he defeated. Yeah, he had the 9 labors. So that's based on him. The 9 lives based on the 9 labors. King Arthur, Excalibur is like it's her whole sword. The Excalibur comes out and it's a huge ass beam, shit like that. His basically what he shoots out all those besides King Arthur, but all those he shoots out because he's the original king. You know, this Gilgamesh dude, he had all the riches, so all he does is just shoots it out. Like literally all he does. What you'll see right here, how OP.
So this got me wondering,
you know what I'm saying?
Who exactly is this arrogant servant that likes to place himself at what's essentially the pinnacle of human existence, and why the fuck is he so much powerful than everyone else?
And he's a demigod.
Let's take a look at who this walking embodiment of pride was back when he was alive, and see what exactly made him the King of Heroes. Gilgamesh is the legendary figure who can be found as the focus in what's considered to be the world's oldest piece of fictional literature. A mythic poem titled The Epic of Gilgamesh, which states...
You see that? Look, that's a poem.
This piece of fictional literature. A mythic...
What kind of poem is that?
That's what I used to write back then.
Really?
On stones.
Yeah, but I mean...
drawings on.
Like...
That's
titled The Epic of Gilgamesh, which dates all the way back to the year 2100 BC. It's a 4,000-year-old story that just so happens to grant Gilgamesh yet another title as history's first known hero. His adventures and accomplishments as the absolute ruling entity of Uruk are certainly nothing to scoff at, but it's his quest for immortality and what he learned from it that makes this epic so memorable. Let's set the stage. The year is around 2800 BC. And the Age of Gods is on the brink of separation due to their continually deteriorating state from the invasion of Safar. You see, the gods used to walk the earth as physical manifestations of nature itself, which allowed them to rule the earth and its inhabitants. But after Safar nearly destroyed the entire planet, along with numerous gods, the rest of them began to lose their physical forms and could only manifest themselves on Earth by possessing compatible humans. The gods eventually came to the conclusion that their time remaining on Earth was very limited. To counter their diminishing presence, they came up with a plan to create a keystone that would act as the bridge between the fading gods and the emerging humans. Gilgamesh was that keystone. It was around the year 2600 BC that Gilgamesh was born as a demigod between the human king of Uruk and the goddess Ninsun. At the time, Uruk was the capital city of ancient Mesopotamia, the first civilization to be created on Earth since the beginning of mankind. So being born as two-thirds
right here. Look at that shit. You see this
created
right
on
here.
Earth since the beginning of mankind.
Watch this shit. That. Oh, fuck.
So being born as two-thirds god and one-third human into a ruling position of one of the first cities to have ever existed is definitely a nice position to be in. But the gods definitely did not intend for Gilgamesh to turn out the way that he did. Rather than being this neutral entity that would observe humanity from both the perspective of a god and a human, he instead became this figure of absolute authority. You see, Gilgamesh was born with the knowledge that he was neither fully god nor human, and as such, he placed himself as this superior being over all those that he ruled. This led to him becoming this oppressive tyrant of a king who historically was recorded as either subjecting his people to forced labor or sexually oppressing them. That's the subtle way of putting it. I'm actually downplaying it a lot here because just mentioning the atrocities he committed would probably lead...
No. Raise it a little higher. You're missing. Look what he did, bro, to a little girl.
I'm actually downplaying it a lot here because just mentioning the atrocities he committed would probably lead to instant demonetization. Which leads me to wonder how he even became a hero in the first place. But moving on, the gods weren't quite satisfied by the fact that this supposed keystone would grow up to become such a tyrannical king who wouldn't even submit to the ones that created him. So the king of gods, Anu, and the goddess of creation, Aruru, mold a piece of earth into this wild man monster named Enkidu and give it life, but not a soul. Its purpose of existence was to act as the chains of heaven and put Gilgamesh back into his place as an observer of the gods by binding him. Though, since Enkidu didn't have a soul himself, he had no sense of rational thought, so he couldn't take action upon Gilgamesh until he gained enough wisdom and reason to do so. This was made possible by sleeping with a divine harlot that was sent by the gods themselves, but that's more Enkidu's story than Gilgamesh's. So, after molding itself into a rational being, Enkidu goes to carry out its mission. The first time that it witnesses Gilgamesh, though, he was still a child that hadn't completely put humanity under his foot. So at first, Enkidu was questioning the god's reasoning for having it met out punishment to this seemingly just ruler. Surely refusing to submit to the gods as a child does not warrant the type of divine punishment that the gods were trying to deal with.
Look at that, you see that right there? Let me show this. This right here. How's it staying on him?
At least that's what Enkidu thought. But as he watched Gil grow, he witnessed the foresight the gods had to see Gil become this over-oppressive tyrant of a king. When the right time finally came, Enkidu presented himself in front of Gil outside the temple of Uruk and stated that punishment had to be dealt for his lack of respect towards...
Right there, what he has right there, that's called the original sword. That's like the first sword ever made.
No, it wasn't.
Alright.
It wasn't. I don't care what they call it, but it wasn't.
That's what it is.
It wasn't really, though.
That's what it is.
The first sword was shaped differently. It wasn't made
It wasn't
made out of what that one.
That's not a sword.
What is
it's technically called a sword, but it's not like a blade sword. It's like cylinder all the way up. Hopefully they show it so you can see from a different view.
That's fine. So
the gods and the oppression that he dealt to his people. Obviously, Gil, still being full of arrogance, didn't just accept the words of some clay humanoid that was reprimanding him. No, instead they fought each other in a battle that lasted for days on end. This would be the first time in Gilgamesh's life that he would encounter someone of equal strength. So Gilgamesh had no choice but to respond in equal force by using his Gate of Babylon for the first time. Initially...
I couldn't have so how to pause it. It's okay. Hey, this hair looks fake, by the way.
use the treasures that he had carried.
See right there, you see that?
Yeah,
But
I know
after
what
some
you're talking
time,
about.
That
he
shit's
came to the realization that he was actually enjoying himself.
And each one of
You
those
see,
analogies. Oh, right
Gilgamesh
there.
lived a very lonely life.
Let me see if you
His
can see it.
unopposed
Very
power
good.
led him to a life of isolation,
And he's
and
powerful
this served
as
as a
fuck.
factor in the duress that he had towards the people that he ruled. But after coming across Enkidu, someone who was worthy of being in his presence, even to fight him, he stopped caring for the treasures that he had collected and started emptying the vault until there wasn't even a single weapon left to use. Though by that time, Enkidu was reduced to almost only 10% of the clay that he had started with. But rather than simply eliminating the first true opponent that he ever had, Gilgamesh respected Enkidu as an equal, and instead became friends with him. Now, I don't think you need me to tell you, but obviously the Gate of Babylon aspect is a fate-altered component of Gilgamesh's epic. Though everything up to now has been similar, creating a portal that has direct access to his vault of weapons that then fires them at Mach 10 isn't something that's historically accurate.
No, he fires that in Mach 10, bro. Now you can't see how. Now imagine a person, a regular surfer, is running at him with a sword, and he's just back there just shooting an infinite number of swords at him. You know what I'm saying? That's
So
OP.
who'd win?
You would know.
Wait. Oh, you can finish this now. I'd say that.
What?
Finish this now. I ask.
But moving on, Gil and Enkidu, who are now best buds,
is fresh.
set their sights towards the guardian of the cedar forest and the beast of the gods, Humbaba. The two heroes traverse
I
seven
heard
mountains to
Humbaba.
get to the cedar forest, where once there they go deep within until they encounter the divine beast. Though Gilgamesh is at first startled by the demigod guardian, he prays to the sun god, who in return aids Gil by blinding the beast. Humbaba begs to be spared, but is mercilessly decapitated anyways. To make things even worse, in the Nasuverse, although Humbaba was this monstrous creature, it was said to possess the innocent heart of a young girl, one who had also once been friends with Enkidu. It even wore a crown of flowers that Enkidu made from a garden that it had planted just for her. It's at this point that Enkidu is confused by Gil's actions. It's unsure as to why Gilgamesh would go to such great lengths to perform such a dangerous task that wasn't even requested by the gods. Gil explains that it's all to protect Uruk, which confuses Enkidu even more since it was not too long ago that Gil was oppressing the very people that he was now trying to protect. Gil explains his reasoning, and after hearing it, Enkidu pledges loyalty as a tool to help Gil reach his goals. Though this next part may be shocking because Gil didn't accept its pledge, stating that it was his friend and not just a tool. After this, their
Dude, the
adventures
Lord goes
together
far
resulted
back
in
than
Gil
what I thought it
becoming
would
the
be.
greatest and richest king on earth. Even the gods themselves had
They
to
made him a
acknowledge
girl.
the power that Gil had accumulated.
Look at the-
One goddess in particular, who goes by the name of
This is
Ishtar,
cartoon.
actually fell in love with Gil and proposed marriage. I know, it's heartbreaking. But don't worry, because Gil actually turned down this goddess of fertility's proposal due to her past as being, well, a thought. Ishtar was very well known for mistreating her past lovers by being unfaithful and cruel, and Gilgamesh just didn't want any of it.
Yeah, she must have been. No, I'm not gonna say that because it's YouTube. I'm gonna lose a lot of people.
So he sent her away. Ishtar, feeling that she had just become insulted, and being the yandere that she is, went.
What time is it? Yeah. So that's it. That's part one. We're gonna do two parts. Like I said, I don't really like long videos because I don't feel like people be watching long videos. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's part one of Who is Gilgamesh. Hit the first hero and fate's strongest servant. Fate Stay Night. This lore. All right. There's a lot of questionable things we have, but we're gonna wait till we do part two to be able to ask those questions.
Oh, so I can't ask my question?
You got your question now. Go.
Who would win, Gilgamesh or Hercules?
In this instant, Gilgamesh beat Hercules. You didn't see him? Hercules was standing like this dead. But they said if Hercules was an archer instead of a berserker, that Hercules will win. That's what they said.
It doesn't matter what they say.
Alright, so
What happened?
yeah, but he wasn't an archer. He was a berserker.
Still, then. How do you know? Because you said that, you
He
know
was a
what I'm saying.
berserker. That's why.
No, but I'm saying, how do you know he would win if he was an archer?
Oh, because his main class best suited to him would be an archer.
Okay, and what if Gilgamesh was a fucking berserker?
He wouldn't be a berserker. The only
No matter what he
only
would
way
be,
you could be a berserker if you had some type of madness in your life to make you become a berserker. Gilgamesh never had that.
Doesn't matter, nigga.
It does.
What if?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, Hercules wasn't an archer. Nigga.
He was an archer.
Not here.
I know, but I'm saying in his lifetime, he's best suited as an archer. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Gilgamesh would never be. He could be on here. He could be the only person he could be on here is an archer because all he does is shoot shit. That's all he does.
So what is he?
He's an archer.
Then how can the archer be an archer?
But in the other one,
how can the archer be the archer?
In the other one, he's
Hey,
not an
how
archer.
can the archer be an archer?
That's a stupid question. I'm gonna stop the video right there. All right, that would be a like, subscribe, comment down below. Thank you.